Hi everyone, welcome back to Baka Bitches. We are two 30-something-year-olds who love to drink and talk about anime. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Hannah to quickly go through our anime disclaimers.
Yes, because you'll need them just in case you don't want sensitive ears listening. But yeah, this is fair warning, a podcast that we're going to be talking about there's going to be language, there's going to be cursing because we're drinking, there's going to be drinks. So
What the fuck are you talking about?
I know.
What kind of fucking language
rude.
is happening in
this
here?
This is bullshit. I
it's
know.
A family
I'm
show.
So sorry.
Please don't watch this with your family.
Yeah, don't do it.
Watch it in private.
With the door closed and locked. But yeah, so there's going to be language. There's probably going to be some sexy talk in here.
Some adult themes.
Definitely a lot of adult themes. And that ranges
references
from,
to sexuality.
Yes, sexy sex time and daddies. Lots of daddies.
So many daddies. All the daddies with an I-E-S. Daddies.
Daddies.
Probably some dark elements. Some things that might be uncomfortable. Death.
Sex, violence, drug use.
Mm-hmm. Heavy themes.
We're gonna talk about it all. So if you're a little sensitive about those subjects, please just be aware that it's to your discretion, and don't come at us for watching in dub. Okay?
Mostly don't come at us for that because we are Baka Bitches and we are not reading subtitles.
We are not. Maybe on our own time, but this is podcast time, and we gotta go with the English. We gotta go with the English so we absorb it all.
Enjoy, guys.
Enjoy.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Baka Bitches. We are two 30-something-year-olds who love to drink and to talk about anime. Tonight we are continuing Inuyasha. We are on episode 19. Go home on your own time, Kagome.
Oh.
Perfect.
Oh.
So before we get into that, I am one of your hosts, Stephanie. And this is...
Hannah.
Tonight we are drinking Cherry Moscato.
Yeah. I'm very pleased with it.
It's not that sweet.
No, it's got a tartness like you would kind of expect from a cherry thing.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah,
and if we sound a little different, we are recording for the first time at my new place.
Yes.
So bear with us as my walls are still somewhat bare.
Yeah.
And the echoiness is echoing.
Yeah.
Ing.
We'll fix it. We'll get some nice tapestries to hang on command hooks and stuff.
Yeah,
that's gonna weebify it.
That's gonna fix it for sure.
Yeah,
we'll just get the flag of Japan and just put it up.
Right there. You know what? Yeah,
just a flag of Kagome's face.
Kagome.
Put it up.
Not even a daddy. It's just Kagome.
Just Kagome.
The bossy 15-year-old.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So. Yeah, where do we
so we're just going to dive right in. I think we decided we are full done with the wiki synopsis because they suck.
Yeah, they've truly disappointed us, especially with this series.
Yeah, and I think we're just done with that. We're just done with the comparison because we have all the insider deets on the anime.
Yeah, we do because we've watched it together. We've watched it. Stephanie's made notes.
I have made notes.
I just... zone out and watch the show,
which is fair because she has a better memory for anime than I do.
I don't know. We'll kind of see with this one.
Yeah. So we had opened this episode from like a continuation of our last episode.
Yeah.
Where we're just getting stuck on never-ending cliffhangers.
Yeah,
which is fun. Yeah.
Inuyasha is cliffhanger central.
It really is. So in our last episode that we saw real quickly, we had our bros bang it out.
Yeah. Not in that way.
But in that way.
But they were dueling swords.
Yeah,
you know?
and then Sesshomaru calls demons to wreak havoc.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of havoc.
So much.
Miroku tries to do a hand suck, but gets poisoned.
Yeah, he can't hoover with his hand, otherwise the giant wasp demon things just murder him.
Yeah, they gonna fuck his world up. So
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we left off in the middle of that chaos,
Right.
and we're just kind of jumping back in.
Yeah, because we have Kagome, who is being a brave bossy babe, who is shooting arrows at Sesshomaru.
Maybe not brave, maybe stupid bossy babe.
Definitely that too.
Definitely a baka sassy babe. You know, it's fine.
I mean, I would not be shooting arrows at this guy. Like, I mean,
Truth.
you know, but she's actually trying to do her job here or whatever, because she sees the Shikon jewel.
She does put on her big girl panties.
She does. She is not scared. And
That's true. We did hear her say that.
Yeah, she's like,
I'm not scared. Yeah, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to
Yeah.
that.
So she, where we left off last episode is she shoots one arrow at Tetsusaiga, which Sesshomaru was wielding because he has a human hand on his left arm. And doing that, because Kagome has kind of some powers from her reincarnation of Kikyo thing. So she got some powers, and it's usually channeled through shooting arrows. So she's able to purify Shikon jewels by holding them.
Yes.
And use her powers through arrows to purify something or whatever. And so this arrow hits Tetsusaiga. Tetsusaiga goes to its old crusty, rusty form.
Love a good crusty rusty.
Sword?
No. Continue.
So she successfully gets Tetsusaiga to go back to its old form, and she's now more or less gotten Sesshomaru's attention. Not in the way that I would have gotten his attention.
Which would be like stripping all your clothes off
Yeah.
and being like, take me, daddy.
Take me here.
Calgon, take me away. If you guys know that reference, you are old like us. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Love it. Please stay. She then starts talking some major smack to Sesshomaru. She's like, you know what? And next I'm going to aim for your arm and get the Shikon jewel and you're blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, she definitely was running her flappers a little bit more than she should have. She should have just been shooting instead of being
Really?
like the bad guy. You know how like the bad guy always says what he's going to do?
They always have to monologue super
And
hard.
like, I feel like that's what she was doing as we're just internally being like, just do the thing.
Like, oh my gosh, it is the typical anime thing where it's kind of like in Sailor Moon, you know, like the Sailor Scouts have to transform.
Yo, yeah.
And the enemies
taking
just
forever.
kind of sit there and wait for that to happen.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
That's not concerning for them. That they're
No.
like, no, we're just going to wait.
Yeah, and in real life, that would not happen.
Maybe it's because they're Japanese. They're so polite.
Oh, you know what? You might be onto something.
Yeah, that could be it.
But it's a very polite society over there.
Yeah. Even for the bad guys and
yeah.
the ruffians and thugs.
The villains are always...
So noble.
Yeah, they have their honor that they stick to.
Yeah. So she's over here like, this next one is going to go right through your arm. I'm going to shoot that bitch right off. Y'all.
Wait,
Yeah.
y'all. She's just turned country now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she like tells Sesshomaru her whole plan, what she's trying to do, and it's like, girl, don't give away your steps here. So Sesshomaru is able to, after Kagome shoots an arrow, is able to catch it between his delicious little fingers.
I love a good delicious fingering.
See? Wait, is that too much? Should we edit
No,
that out?
that is not too
Okay.
much. Call me.
Who are you saying that to?
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
You, Hannah, obviously.
It's me. Okay, bye, guys. This is the
podcast over.
I've got other things to do.
Apparently.
So he catches the arrow, disintegrates it with his dank poison power, acid power things. And he starts heading Kagome's way. Inuyasha freaks out and does the typical Kagome, because that's all they ever do in this anime is they yell each other's names.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's real life for sure.
Yeah. I mean, they're teens, I guess. So Inuyasha gets in the way and is like, Sesshomaru, leave her alone. She's got nothing to do with this. She's being a dumb girl or whatever.
Right.
And, trying to save Kagome. Kagome's like a really angry, yappy chihuahua and is like, let me at him. It's fine. I can take care of myself.
Yeah. That is the perfect representation of her as a dog in that moment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I know because I have a chihuahua and she truly is yappy.
That's true.
Yeah.
She's seen me multiple times and she still do the yappy yaps.
Yeah, well, I mean, you would have to live with her 24/7 for
and
like
probably
4 months.
Even then.
Yeah.
She would still forget if I didn't come home for 3 days. She'd be like, who the fuck are you?
Actually, that's accurate. That's accurate.
I'd be like, thanks.
Missed you too.
Yeah.
So, Inuyasha's just like, no, you need to take care of Miroku because he's poisoned from the waspies. And that kind of gets Kagome to back down, luckily.
Doesn't he thank her?
Oh,
doesn't he say, like, hey, thanks for trying, thanks for being there, thanks for the whatever.
Thanks for being
And I feel like that kind of, distracted her enough to, get her attention out of her,
yeah.
Where she was like, huh? What? She was so confused.
Yeah, she really, submitted after that. She's like, okay, fine.
All right, Daddy.
All right, sure.
You got this.
Daddy half demon.
Yeah.
And Sesshomaru is over there Inuyasha, he kind of has a point where he's like, yeah, Inuyasha, don't let a human fight your battles because even though you're only half demon, you should be proud of that part of you, and don't let any human interfere with any fight that you have. And I'm like, well, okay. I mean, a little racist, but okay.
Yeah.
But all right, that's fine. And so Kagome does go off to tend to Miroku, and one of my favorite things in this part is now that she's with Miroku, who's been dealing with poisoned hand things, she's like, it was mentioned 1 or 2 times that, look for an antidote, Kagome, because she brings a big yellow giant backpack that seems to get bigger every episode. And so she's like, oh yeah, I will. And I'm just sitting there thinking, what, you got specifically an antidote, as you call it, for demon wasps? Do you really? Because I don't... But I guess modern medicine is way more advanced than, poison from demon wasps. So...
Yeah, clearly.
That
checks
sense.
out with anime logic.
Yeah, that totally makes sense to me. But Kagome does find something. And Miroku's just like, I'm too weak. You need to give it to me. And Kagome's like, okay. And Miroku's like, by mouth.
Yes.
And Kagome's like, yeah, okay, no problem.
Yeah, you know what?
Sure.
That works.
That could be done.
It checks out.
And we hear some
shuffling
for some reason,
happening,
like a cracking of a soda can too.
Yeah.
And Miroku has his eyes closed, and we hear the can open, and then
we see lips approaching.
Yeah, lips approaching, and then Miroku opens his eyes, and it's Shippo, ready to deliver the antidote, which at this point I just believe is fizzy water. Right. Because, it's fine. Or like soda. And he's like, on second thought, I could take it myself. It's cool.
Yeah, and so Kagome kind of looks back because she's already on the move again. So she's like, clearly, if Miroku is like well enough to joke around, he's not in dire need of help.
Right.
He's okay enough for the moment. So I can go help.
Yeah, I'm back to yipping.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. She
jumps back into action.
Yeah, she does. I think she was, she was semi-jumping back into action. I think she was staying back a lot more.
Enough, but she's still monitoring the situation to be like, when can I be helpful?
Right. Her bow is drawn again.
Yeah.
But she's at a distance, and she's just kind of waiting.
Yeah. And
Sesshomaru is just, he still has an upper hand with everything. Mm-hmm. And we see Tetsusaiga at this point still in his grasp with the human hand. And it is, like, not back to full power, but it's not so much a rusty sword anymore. Again, but it's looking more like Tetsusaiga, but on a milder scale. And starts slashing it around again, and Inuyasha's taken some blows too, and it's not a good thing. And Miroku's just like, there's only one thing that's gonna fix this, and he's starting to unravel his beads on his hand.
Yeah.
To open the wind tunnel again.
Right. And
Inuyasha's just like, you can't do it. Or this might have been earlier, because Inuyasha shows Miroku that it's useless to use the wind tunnel still.
Right, because he's like, look, these little fucking fuckers are still zipping around all over the place.
Yeah, he threw a rock, and like all of a sudden, like all these wasps come back out of like the ground? ?
Yeah, I wasn't sure where they came from. They just appeared.
They really did. And so Miroku still useless. Thanks.
But we have Kagome, and she's here. She's prepared.
Yeah, she's ready.
She's ready. She's ripe. She is so ripe. She needs to be made into banana bread. She's so rotten and ready.
So rotten and ready.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna go banana bread on you.
Yeah, sure.
Oh man.
Doesn't Sesshomaru notice her
again?
And then like knocks her over because she like tries to jump in the way, or like she tries to like intervene in some way.
Again.
And she gets in the way. But as she's trying to get in the way, Inuyasha throws himself in front to like protect her. Mm-hmm. Isn't that right?
Something like that.
And he's protecting Kagome. Mm-hmm. But in the process of trying to protect her and like move her, she gets knocked out.
Yeah, she gets
by just like the
force
force of his body weight.
Yeah.
So she was gonna be doing a lot of good.
Yeah, and then she was not.
And then she was until she was not. So now she's laying on the ground.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
And that's when what's his name? The other guy who wanted it mouth to mouth with her.
Oh, Miroku.
Mm-hmm. Is kind of like well enough to like come over and be like, what do you need? Let me tag you in, Inuyasha. And Inuyasha's like, no. You take Kagome and you take her to a safe place and protect her with your life.
Yeah.
Like, this is utmost importance.
This is serious business, my dude.
And Miroku's kind of like, but okay.
Yeah, all right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, especially Shippo, both of those guys can't do anything, like, to help. Like, they just get
Especially in this moment without our little wind tunnel hand powers.
Yeah,
We're just useless.
Yeah. So, you know what? Right. This is more productive.
Especially with the way, like, Inuyasha and Sesshomaru are just, like, duking it out.
Yeah.
I mean, shit's getting real, guys. Like, we don't want to be in the middle of this.
Right, absolutely not.
We're just going to let these guys figure it out.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of, like, what they resume doing. So, like, let's have epic battle scene. And Inuyasha kind of, like, I feel like in that moment, didn't he come to the realization of, like, you must have like a human arm in order to wield Tetsusaiga.
It finally dawned on Inuyasha.
Like, this is how it's happening.
Yeah, like clearly not the sharpest tool in the shed, because boy didn't remember cutting off his brother's own arm when his brother was a big old demon dog.
Yeah, small detail.
And he's like, oh yeah, okay, that must have been what happened. And, I mean, Inuyasha still at this point is not doing great. Like, there is blood, like, all over the battlefield from Inuyasha, not from Sesshomaru. And, Inuyasha, I think I was distracted at this point, but he does end up getting Tetsusaiga back.
Yeah, because they end up kind of, like, in this tussle, to put it nicely.
Yeah.
And it's looking like Inuyasha is not about to win. Of course, we know differently as the viewer, even me having never seen it because the entire show is called Inuyasha, that I know he's not about to die.
Right.
But he's looking pretty rough. And so he's kind of standing there, and Sesshomaru is just standing back, and who's the little demon guy that follows him around? What's that asshole's name?
Oh, gosh. Jockin
is like, what are you doing? What are you waiting for? Go approach him, do the thing, finish him off. And Sesshomaru is like, no, that would not be wise.
Yeah.
As, like, Inuyasha's just kind of there, like, he's on the ground, kind of, like, hunched over a little bit, but he's just, like, full fury, and he's just, like, internally about to combust.
It's kind of like his soul just switched off, and all he's left with is
pure demonic power.
Yeah, the pure feralness of the demon side of him. Like, he's holding on to Tetsusaiga, like, super hard.
Right, because he's already cut off at the wrist.
Right.
Like, Sesshomaru. So, he's got the thing.
Yeah, he's got Tetsusaiga all up in his business, and he's, like, passed out, but somehow, like, all this power is coursing through him and going through Tetsusaiga and shooting out if you draw near to it. And so Sesshomaru, not only being, like, super hot, is also very super smart.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I know when to call it, and this is it. Like, this is not
We're not going beyond this.
This is not when he is at his weakest. So he's like, okay, we're going to retreat. This is it. And he ends up leaving. And that's when he admits that the human arm that he has is, like, it's failing. So he like, the arm is catching on fire. And he's
this
like,
arm is on fire.
This arm is on fire.
For real. It was.
It was. And so he rips it off, like, and is just, okay, this was terrible. And Jockin is just like, we need to find Naraku and, like,
he's doing his little yippee yippness,
yeah,
too.
he is also a chihuahua in his own right. And Sesshomaru is just like, yeah, okay. And Naraku does appear right behind them. And Sesshomaru is just like, and what are you doing here? And he's like, well, I've come to retrieve the Shikon jewel. I see that this hasn't worked out for you. And Sesshomaru's just like, yeah, I guess not, whatever. You know?
Yeah.
Naraku gets his shard back, and Sesshomaru's playing it cool in this, like, brief interaction. And all of a sudden, Sesshomaru, like, takes a swipe at, like, a murderous swipe, like a clear assassination attempt on Naraku. And we see that the head of the baboon cloak is just cut clean off and rolls to the ground. And Chalkin is just like, you did it, master! You did it, my lord! And Sesshomaru is just like, oh, he got away. And Chalkin's like, what? And, like, tries looking through, like, the scraps of cloak. And he's like, where did he go? Well, Chalkin, he escaped. You big old dum-dum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how is that not obvious? But Sesshomaru still keeps it cool. He's just like, all right. Well,
Easy come, easy go.
Yeah.
I'll find another.
Yeah,
I'll find another. It's
we'll
cool.
do it another way. It's fine. It's cool. And then we cut back to the actual team.
Yeah, Inuyasha. He's met back up now.
Yeah, met back up. They're all kind of recovered. It's almost like the next day or something.
Yeah.
At this point.
Probably.
And this is when Inuyasha is just like, come on, Kagome, let's go talk.
He has a full moment.
Yeah, he does. And he's trying to, like, take Kagome away from the other two so they could have a private conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And Miroku and Shippo start trying to follow them.
Oh, yeah.
And
they be creeping, eavesdropping that for sure.
Fair,
I would be too.
Mm-hmm.
I would too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Like, I want to know. I want to know what's going on.
Yeah, I would do that with anyone. I would do that with them. I would do that with you.
It's true.
Yeah.
I know.
It's just how we are.
I know, we just like, what's that? I need to know.
Just for the information.
I know, I like to know things.
Yeah, so Inuyasha, he does get her as alone as he could probably get her. That's what we'll say about that.
Yeah.
So they're kind of back by, like, the well where Kagome first appeared from, and he's just kind of, like, leaned up against that, and then they're just kind of sitting in awkward silence for a moment, and it seems like Kagome's about to start, you know,
as
again.
usual.
And then he just, like, grabs her by the wrist and, like, pulls her in for, like, a hug, and then she's just like, oh.
Like, shooketh.
Inuyasha? Are you okay?
Right.
And then we have a full moment. He's like, you know, I was just so scared. I was worried. I don't want to lose you. Like, you mean a lot to me. And I was just like I was about to lose it, Hannah. I was this close to tears.
You thought he was gonna, like, full on make out with her at that point, right?
I mean, I feel like that would have been easier on me. I would have been like, fucking men, you know, fucking dog men. You guys are all the same. But no, he was just, full moment with her, you know, and they definitely shared, like, an emotionally intimate moment right there.
Oh, they for sure did.
Where she didn't say anything back, like, to reciprocate that, but she doesn't really have to, because you know that from her actions so far.
Right.
Inuyasha has been more standoffish.
Yeah.
Verbally and physically.
Very, like, hot and cold, too. You know, just, like, you know, he'll say stuff like, you know, I care about you, but then he'll, like, start another sentence with, because you can detect the jewels, you know?
Yeah, like, right. And it just, it loses a lot of meaning.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's all intentional. Like, that's part of his character and the character development I feel like we see between them. So it was very sweet. I didn't expect it to come this soon, knowing how many episodes we have to go.
Yeah.
But I am glad for it. It was very endearing. I had all the feels. I almost shed a tear, but did not.
Oh, well, okay. Maybe next time.
Maybe next episode.
Maybe next emotional thing, but...
Yeah, so I feel like they pretty much immediately just had that moment, and then he was like, I can't bear for anything to happen to you. So go home, Kagome, and then he just like ninja thrusts her over headfirst into the well.
Yeah, and like
where she disappears, and then the portal then dirty. Closes.
Yeah, because he took away the Shikon jewel,
right?
Which is kind of her
access.
Key,
yeah,
to the portal.
Yeah,
and so she's back in modern times, and she's like, "What the heck?" and tries to go back, but then she's like, "Yes, the Shikon jewel, like." Of course. Like,
yeah.
So I can't leave.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like, that's devastating. You're used to this whole world of demons and stuff. And he's just like, he's denied you that access. Because, I mean, typical Kagome, where she's like, he's trying to have a conversation of like, that really scared me. That was really tough. Like, we narrowly made it out of that alive, and who knows if the next time we will be alive. And Kagome is just like, oh, it's gonna be fine. Like, we'll do better to be more careful, but we're good.
I feel like that's very much your personality type, Hannah. Where everything, even if it's going wrong, you're like, yeah, it's probably fine.
I mean, this is only temporary, you guys.
It's gonna be cool.
It's just a small setback.
Hannah, there's this problem and this problem and this problem. Yeah, it's gonna be fine.
It's fine. I don't know how, but
what are you actively doing to make? I don't know. But you know, just it's gonna be okay.
I haven't figured it out. I've just decided mentally, like, we're not gonna worry about this.
This is a personality type I do not understand, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean,
because sometimes I just need to chill the fuck out. Because I'm spun up over here, and you're just over here like, yeah, it's cool.
It's fine. It's cool.
And I'm like, these 8 million problems.
I mean, you know,
that we need to execute on.
If it makes you feel any better, like, as a kind of like clue, I'm very much that way for everyone else's life. I'm just like, oh yeah, you'll be fine. Like, this is gonna pass. I look at my own life and see all of the fires that I have to put out, and then I'm like, I'm just going to pretend they don't exist because I don't know what to do, and I'll just burn alive. It's cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
That's cool. Understood.
Yeah. But I'm like, I am your hype queen for figuring your life out. I'm just going to go over here and rot in a ditch.
That's sexy.
I know.
All right, well, that's pretty much our episode. So, you know, hopefully Kagome finds her way back, or maybe she doesn't and we just get more daddies.
Yeah, she just grows up,
lives her own beautiful
graduates
life.
High school, goes to college, gets a desk job, and, you know.
She's your everyday office grunt.
Yep.
We all love that.
Don't we?
Baka, bye!